Join Daryl McCants and Yvette Walker each Tuesday at 4 p.m. on ABC News Radio, KMET, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show highlights successful businesses and individuals behind them. Daryl and Yvette interview the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on KMET AM, FM, and Internet KMET TV.
Welcome to KMET 1490 AM ABC News Radio and the Southern California Business Report, a show dedicated to highlighting successful Southern California businesses and the people behind them, with Daryl McCants and Yvette Walker. And now, here's Daryl and Yvette.
Thank you for joining the Southern California Business Report on ABC News and Talk's KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM, and KMET TV. With Yvette Walker and myself, Daryl McCants. We are live blasting our signal from the center of Southern California, Inland Empire, Orange County, and Los Angeles to our west, the Desert Empire to our east, Riverside, Temecula, all the way to San Diego to our south, and our beautiful mountain communities, Upper Desert, all the way to State Line to our north. Get us crystal clear worldwide by going to Google Play or Apple App Store and downloading our free KMET smartphone app today. We focus each week on successful businesses in Southern California and the people behind them, serving a local population of nearly 25 million from all 10 counties, from San Luis Obispo all the way to San Diego. Today's show focuses on the business and secrets of Southern California's real estate sector. A little clue, we won't say who it is quite yet, but a little clue is back in 1971, a franchise was formed, and today it operates in over 80 countries, over 140,000 agents. And today, as far as I'm concerned, my favorite is on with us. The first agent in history of this huge organization to sell $50 million in 1 year. And what's scary about that is that was 25 years ago. So I won't go on too long, but we'll be introducing our guest today, and everybody better brace themselves, because you're going to be very motivated when this is done. Before we begin, a special thank you to our team, Mitch, Bill, and Sean at the station, and our amazing advisory group from UC Irvine School of Business, Bill Morris, Jay Kaplan, catch his show every Friday at 3 p.m., Camila Rubio, Diana Cavallo, and James Carvin. Special thanks to last week's guest, Dr. Clayton Lau, Director of Prostate Cancer Program at City of Hope. And everybody needs to make a note that September is Prostate Cancer Month. It is a big deal. Get checked out. And if you didn't catch that show, at the end of this show, Yvette Walker will share with everybody how to go and pull that up and watch it and forward it to a friend, because it is a big deal. It is a really big deal. So as customary, Yvette Walker will introduce this week's special guest. Yvette, microphone's all yours.
Thank you so much, Daryl. And thank you so much to our beautiful, amazing guests that we have today. Today, I have the privilege of introducing Marty Rodriguez, owner of Glendora, California-based Century 21, Marty Rodriguez. She's an exceptional individual who stands out by exemplifying the words that for her have become a way of life and the gateway to unparalleled success. Marty's mission is to bring happiness to herself and to others by being the best example that she can be, to inspire and change lives, and to bring out the best in the people whose lives she touches. For Marty, these words are more than just a motto. They literally define the way she lives. And because she takes these words to heart, living by them has resulted in achieving a level of success that only a select few can claim. Marty Rodriguez has been selling residential real estate in Southern California for Century 21 system for the past 43 years. She has an incredible real estate sales record, both in the nation and in the world. She is recognized as the most successful real estate agent in the history of Century 21. Marty and her team have collectively sold over $4.7 billion in real estate and have been ranked as number one in the nation for 25 years and number one in the world for 10 years for the Century 21 system. Her unmatched industry knowledge gives her the advantage to advertise and move real estate in any market. Her outstanding motivational and leadership skills drive her to a level of success that only a few can claim. For Marty, teamwork, respect, and excellence are non-negotiable standards that each person in her office agrees to adhere and live by. Her devotion and genuine concern allows her to maintain a personal relationship with her clients. In a market where people are downsizing, she upsizes with hiring more staff because she knows that a team consistently outperforms an individual when it comes to providing excellent service. She knows that the results of exceptional service to her clients will win her clients for life. The client is the most important part of her business, and she takes great pride in offering them amazing service. Through her business demands a high level of energy and commitment. Marty makes time to lend her support to local schools and organizations. She has earned countless accolades for the time she gives to organizations that are committed to helping local businesses and children. Marty also signed a charter to have her own Marty's Dream Team chapter of City of Hope. Marty believes with great success also comes an even greater opportunity to give back. Thank you so much for joining us today, Marty.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here today, especially with my favorite guy, Daryl McCann.
I love it. Thank you so much, Marty. Thank you so much. And we go back many decades, and I've been telling Yvette Walker, she's going to fall in love with Marty Rodriguez.
Yes, and I have.
Yeah, I said, I tell you what, every time I get off the phone with her, I feel like Rocky, the movie Rocky. I want to run down the street and start, doing something special. So now, before we talk business, because you are the ultimate people person, you invest in people, you care about people, you know how to motivate people. We're going to get into all that kind of stuff. But I want you to, for those that have not had the privilege of meeting you, go back. Let's go back in the time machine. Especially, there's going to be some young people out there that don't know what they want to do with their life, and they may say, you know what, I want to go into the real estate industry. I hear all kinds of great things. There's TV shows, all that kind of stuff. Take us back, go back as far as you want, and then let us know at what point did you decide to get in this industry, and what did it look like as you started? Because everybody sees you now with all these accomplishments. They don't realize that it didn't start there on day one. So take us back into the beginning, and let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I have to take you back to when I was probably 6 years old, going to Catholic school and selling, tickets and candy and what have you. I was always, the top seller at school since I was a little girl. And then I remember, Daryl, I was probably annoying when I was always asking questions. So here I am, the, top seller, and being annoying, asking questions, and selling is asking questions, right? So I was hard to be beat even when I was in grammar school. And I remember even playing tetherball. It was like, we didn't just play tetherball, we played killer tetherball. And I can remember the kids, and I would win because you could play until you lost, right? So I would be playing tetherball, and the kids are like, get her out. And it's like, and I'm sure as I became successful in real estate, they were probably still saying, get her out, but it wasn't happening.
Isn't that great? Now share with everybody. I imagine you had some competition around the dinner table trying to get in there and grab a piece of bread or something. How many siblings did you have?
Well, I'm one of 11 kids. My mom had 11 kids in 15 years. So we were 13 people in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. So nice. we were pretty competitive even to get to the bathroom.
And day one was Southern California, correct?
What's that?
You've been in Southern California since
my
day
whole
one.
Life. Yes,
yep.
My
so
whole life.
you are what it's all about. Southern California.
Raised in El Monte, California, and then moved to Glendora when Ed and I moved out here in 1980. We started building our house in 1978, and nice. Moved out here in 1980. So I've been out here a long time, and I started selling real estate in 1978 out in San Dimas office.
Well, the Century 21 started in 1971 in Southern California. Yes. So even though it's worldwide, we want to make sure we remind everybody it all started in Southern California, and then you have taken it to a whole new level and have brought such amazing reputation to that brand name because it's all about the people. Okay, so keep going.
And it's been a great marriage with myself and Century 21. It's been awesome. And, I've been through the good, bad, and the ugly. And you can probably remember in 1981, 82, 83, we sold houses at 18, 19, 20%. And it was difficult for buyers to qualify in those days because people think it's difficult today. Oh, no, it's way easy today. When Daryl and I first started, the buyer's income had to be 28% of their payment, and their total payment and bills could not exceed 36% of their income. And today, that's almost at 50% in many cases. So it's easier for a buyer to buy a house today. So although for me, when I started, there were also no computers. Everything was door to door. So I really got to learn the business really well. I got to see it. I got to feel it. And I think that's why now for me, it's so much easier. If I did a market analysis, it would take me hours and hours. Now I can do a market analysis in a matter of minutes, with a computer. So many, I've evolved. Like I said, I've been through the good, bad, and the ugly, and I know how to sell in any market, whether interest rates are 18, 19, 20%. If the market's going up, when it went up to in 89, the market came back down to 1997. 1997, the market climbed back up to 2007, propelled by stated income loans, giving people money that didn't deserve it, and then coming back down to 2012, 13, and then coming back up to where you see us today. And, today we're dealing with bidding wars, things that none of us have ever seen before. So, like I said, the good, bad, and deadly, but I know how to sell in any market, no matter what the market's doing. And, I'm a real estate owner, and nobody believes in home ownership more than myself, because when we were those 13 people in that 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, one thing I can tell you is that my mom and dad owned that house. Nobody was going to tell us that we had to move, because that's what I'm finding today is people calling me and saying, the landlord's going to sell the house because the market's up high. I have nowhere to go. And rents are just as hard to find as houses are to find. But what we had when we were kids, my parents owned that home. We had security. We had stability. And that's why I try to tell people that, you need to have your own home, whatever it takes, so that people don't push you around.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense.
So talk to us when you first got in real estate. When was your, in fact, you can tell us when you got in real estate, and this would be a great time to give us your DRE number.
I started in 1978. I remember my first sale was $42,000.
That's awesome.
And the house was so bad that I had to fix it so the lender would make the loan on it. So my husband, Ed, who was in construction, was over there with a big dumpster cleaning the house out so we could, so the property would qualify for my client. So, and I think about all the crazy things that, that we did for our people, and we still do things, along the way. So that's, where I started. And then I remember doing my first presentation, and, we didn't have training. We didn't have, classes. So it was kind of like trial and error. And I remember doing my first presentation. I'm presenting an offer, and I'm telling the seller everything that's wrong with this house. But that's not what he wants to hear. But nobody trained me. So, for me, it was trial and error. I had to learn how to sell. Although I was a great salesperson, I just needed somebody to guide me. And there was a man named Jim Weinkopf who was the trainer at the office. And Jim was a great teacher. He was not a great salesperson, but he was a great teacher. He taught me a lot about the business and taught me how to go door to door, knocking. So I learned the hard way. But you know what? It made it easier for me today because I learned the hard way.
Right. And that is critical. And that shows, your decades of experience. And I'm curious, and I would like to share this with our viewers and our listeners, of all of the real estate systems that exist. And, we see them as we drive through our neighborhoods every day. Please share with us, what was it about Century 21 that drew you in, that made you feel like this is the perfect match for me to build this multi-billion-dollar sales empire that you've created to date?
You know what? I think it was, definitely the leadership. Phil Yeager? Phil Yeager used to own the region here, Phil and Bill. And, we had great leadership in our region. And I think, they kept us motivated. They did so many things to, contests, just things to keep you excited about the business. And I think, and I know we don't have as much of that, over across the industry like we did then, because everything was so much personable. Now it's, we're on Zoom. Although I kind of like Zoom because when I'm not in a big room, I can see your face. I can see how you react. I think Zoom is a good thing for us too. I'm not, and what I like too is it saves me a lot of time, so I don't have to, travel. But yet I can get the information, whether it's a Tony Robbins seminar or it is a Tom Ferry seminar or Mike Ferry seminar. I gather so much more information. And for me, because I'm busy during the day, I can actually watch a lot of this at night where I can get more information. I can play back if I miss something. But the one thing I can tell you that I did learn about real estate, I don't care if you're in real estate, I don't care if you're in insurance, I don't care what business you want to be in, you have to not only love it, you have to immerse yourself in it. Learn everything about it, because I know everything about my business, whether it is about trust, about probate, about their taxes, about 1031 exchanges. So, and even some of the legalities of the, deeds and things that people have done. I've worked on some, crazy cases, but that's why I not only bring service to my people, I bring a lot of value. I am a very valuable individual in the real estate industry because there's so much information in this computer that so many people have not experienced. And a lot of it, you don't learn it until you actually have done it.
And for those that are listening, which is the bulk of our audience, Marty just pointed to her brain. That's a computer that she's talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those that just tuned in, we are here with Mrs. Marty Rodriguez with Century 21Marty Rodriguez, who over the decades has on many occasions been the number one agent or number one team in the world, in the nation, has been recognized. You've probably seen her on the Tony Robbins infomercials. She's one of the big supporters of Anthony Robbins. And one of the things that we talk about, Yvette and I, Marty, is Southern California used to be way over there, way over there, way over there. People would, plan, on the weekend we'll go out to such and such. Now, with the cars so fast and people are on, having very long commutes, by the way, in Southern California, an hour and a half each way to work is common, which makes Yvette and I happy because that makes the radio king.
Yes.
Radio is king. They've scheduled our funeral when the black and white TV came out. They scheduled our funeral when the color TV came out. They scheduled our funeral when the computer came out. And look, radio is the king.
Right.
So the reason I mention that is people will wake up in LA County, go to work in Orange County, stop by and visit family in Riverside, Inland Empire, San Bernardino County, and take a little run every now and again to San Diego. So it's all kind of come together. And one thing that's neat about your operation is that you are, and I see your signs everywhere. You have over the years embraced that, and you just continue to spoil people all over Southern California. And you embrace change. You just you don't get stuck. And you just mentioned that you're from the day you got into business till today, it's changed dramatically. But what hasn't changed is people. And so you just I'm gonna throw the question out to you. How do you keep your team? Why is your team so successful? You've built this gigantic team behind you, and it's like a well-oiled machine. How have you done that? Can you share that with the audience?
Yes, because, I started as an individual, and then pretty soon you get so busy, it's like, no, we need a team because we want to give excellent customer service. So we started to build our team, and Shelly, my daughter, runs the business side of our business. Shelly graduated from USC Marshall School of Business. So she's our responsible broker. She runs our business and our personal business. Jasenia is my sales manager. She's been with me 17 years. And her sister Valerie is our sales support manager. She's been with me 12 years. They make sure that every aspect of our business is organized, systemized, computerized, color-coded, labeled. Every position has a manual, so everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and everything is, overseen. I took a management course about 20 years ago, it's called MAP, Management Action Programs, probably the best money I ever spent. That's when I realized that I should never, ever run my company because that is not my strength. That's not what I'm good at. I'm a great salesperson. That's what I need to, stick to. Work on the sales and work with the team. Let the management people do what they do best. They know how to manage. They know how to hire. They know how to motivate. They know how to do all the things that, keeps the team together. And my job is to work on the sales side and work with my agents and help them and motivate them on the selling side. Theirs is to motivate them to keep them, track their numbers, to make sure they're, they're learning. They are working on, different techniques, seminars, or what have you. So there's so many aspects of being a great agent. Okay, so it's the training, it's the motivation, it's the legalities of the business, it's the contracts. So you break all this down, and you must be an expert in every area of your business. And then you're also learning. See, my agents aren't going to make as many mistakes as I did, okay? Because I already made them all, or almost all of them, okay?
Right.
And you know what? I don't want them to make mistakes. So they have a lot of resources here that, we can help them, we can teach them. And I think that, that makes, a big difference in a good organization, because we are always looking to be better, to improve on ourselves. What's the latest thing coming up? What are things that, we are that going to keep us, code compliant, contract compliant, whatever it might be. The management team is definitely on it, because I don't want to worry about that. I want them to tell us. I have to adhere to the rules just like everybody else here. Yep. My name might be on the building, but I am not the boss. Shelley and the management team are the boss. And that's what I learned, I think, in my management class, that I had to learn to relinquish the power. If I hold on to the power, then I take it away from management. I will not do that. Management should hold the power.
And that is a great attitude to have, because you mentioned learning from your mistakes. That to me just blew me away, because that is a key to moving forward and not repeating those mistakes. And the fact that you share that with your agents, that is tremendous advantage to them, and to you as you're building these teams, so that you're not having to rehash the same mistakes. You learn, you educate your team, and they don't have to. You override those mistakes and go right into being streamlined, efficient, organized, and rely on all of the tools, skills, and resources that you are providing them. It is just amazing. And I've heard of the MAP program. So yes, I completely agree. Yes, Management Action Program is great. But I love that. The learning component of it is just critical. And that just blew me away. I just have to say thank you for that.
And you know what? And I had this amazing teacher, Kate Sinclair at MAP. She was so good. I kept her for 17 years. She was my, she was my kids' management coach. So she coached them for all those years. So they have great training.
Yes.
Well, I know two secrets about your team, and you already mentioned a little bit. You shared with the audience, and that's Shelley. But you didn't say how long Shelley's been with you. You said the other employees, but how long have you had Shelley with you?
Well, it's Shelley and Sean. Shelley does, the business.
No, I'm teasing you. How long have you had Shelley?
Well, Shelley is 45, okay, and Sean is 48. And they both started when they were little, knocking doors with me, believe it or not. I would take them door to door, and we would pass out, flyers back in the day. And the reward was I would take them for ice cream.
And now, since we're talking about your original team that's still with you, let's not forget that other individual. It starts with an E, and his name.
I am so lucky. I definitely married the right person. They say you marry the right person, it will determine 90% of your happiness or 90% of your misery. And, I've been very, very fortunate that, I married and met the right person for me. Because really, I don't even want to be married to me.
Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to adopt that one. That is a good one. That is funny. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Ed is amazing, and over the decades, to see your family behind you 300%, is amazing. It's just, life is challenging enough. And as you've gone out and taken the hill, to know that you have this fan club behind you, I've always seen, when they walk in the room, you light up. It's just neat to have that. And I think that everybody has that. Everybody needs to find that family member, close friend, whatever. Get that little network behind, because they can really make a big, big difference. Now, we are going to take a break, but when we get back from the break, I want to put a cliffhanger for everybody, so they'll be hanging on. We are going to talk about the subject. In fact, Yvette, you can go ahead and share what are you going to be asking Marty when we get back? What's your question?
I want to ask Marty about her feedback on accessory dwelling units in the state of California and how that can positively impact our residents and our residential homeowners.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the population going up and multi-generations and the state of California getting actively involved, and we've seen just so much explosion in population, and with your main office being in LA County and you supporting the surrounding counties from Riverside to San Bernardino to Orange County and beyond, no one better to talk about that. And we're going to get to that here momentarily. We will be right back from break in just a minute.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs a blood transfusion. Be on the giving side. Livestream Blood Bank supports patients in 80 Southern California hospitals. Call 1-800-TRY-GIVING for more information and to set an appointment.
The University of Laverne is rated first in California for alumni satisfaction. Learn more about accelerated programs offered online and on campus in Laverne, Irvine, Ontario, Burbank, or College of the Canyons. Visit go.laverne.edu. The University of Laverne. go.laverne.edu.
Being sued and don't know who to turn to? The insurance company won't defend you and your family in a lawsuit? Stress no more. Call the Walker Law Group. We are the law on your side. Just call 909-989-3200. 909-989-3200.
Ontario International Airport is onto a better way to fly with over 65 daily nonstop flights to more than 20 major destinations and the easiest airport experience in Southern California. Visit flyonto.com/Ontario to learn more about Ontario International Airport today.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining the Southern California Business Report. We are here with Marty Rodriguez, C21Marty Rodriguez, and we are talking, before we went to break, we were talking about what gets people excited. And one of the things that the state of California is involved in is trying to help create affordable housing. Marty mentioned that finding a rental property is just as hard as finding a property to purchase. So, and by the way, Marty, is your real estate license like 001? What's your real estate? I can't wait to find out how many zeros you have. How many zeros you got?
005. I think it's 005.
There you go. I love it. So anyway, we were talking about the actual exciting product that people get excited about, whether it's a place they're going to rent or they're going to buy. And you obviously are specializing in both, helping people get housing. So why don't you tell us about what it is that you see your office, the different areas that your office focuses on, from left to right, top to bottom. What's the product look like?
You know what? For us, it's everything from the first time buyer, to the multi-million dollar buyer. So, because remember, even if you're a first time buyer, you know what? Every house to a buyer, it's $1 million house to them, and we need to, make them feel that way and treat them that way, and watch out for them. Especially, your first-time buyers, because they're not going to have a lot of money. So we need to make sure they're going in with their eyes wide open, and they know what this is going to cost them. So for me, you know what? It's all about the customer, because without our customers, we're nobody. Okay, so we need to take care of them. Even when my kids were little, I would say, okay, I want you to take this to my customer. I go, this is the most valuable piece of paper. I said, because it belongs to my customer. I go, my customer affords you a good life. My customer affords you a good education. So I made them see that these people, if we took good care of them, they will take good care of us. It's got to be a win-win.
Yep. So whether you're listing properties or selling properties, kind of describe for those that are not familiar with C21 Marty Rodriguez, what do the properties look like that you are involved in?
Oh my gosh, they you know what? All these properties, I mean, they look so different from a first-time buyer to we're looking at, and first-time entry buyers are now at pretty much here at 500, and that's pretty much a condo. To getting a house between 600 and 700, which is almost entry level in Glendora, and then your middle ranges are going to be probably from 800, 900 to 1.3 million, being probably at the middle level, and then above that. But remember, the buyers get thinner and thinner as you go up.
Right.
So when you get over 2 million here, it's we don't have as many buyers because it's just not our market in this part of Los Angeles where I am, which is Glendora, San Dimas, Laverne, the San Gabriel Valley of real estate here.
So most of it's 500,000 to 2 million, right?
Yes, and so the houses look very different. But right now, because there is a shortage of listings, the buyers can't be as picky as they could be before because there are, several buyers waiting to buy their homes. So they need to be, very careful, what they buy, what they pay, and can they afford that house at the end of the day when they have to fix it up after the fact. So,
yep.
and I want them to go in with their eyes wide open. I want them to know all that. Okay, the seller's not going to do this. The seller's not going to do that. So be prepared that this is going to be a job that you need to take on. Where before, when it's a buyer's market, the buyer's in the driver's seat. Well, they're not in the driver's seat today. The seller's in the driver's seat.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I told you. Go right ahead a bit.
I was just going to say it makes a lot of sense to make it a win-win. And so when you talk about a win-win and you talk about the different, entry-level housing products that you represent, can you talk about how that win-win looks like when we're looking at accessory dwelling units as, a product that the state of California is very, in support of as they look to increase density and hopefully make an impact on the housing shortage, at least a temporary fix, right? How do you view that as a win-win moving forward in residential real estate?
You know what? In fact, there was an article I think this morning about the explosion of ADUs, pretty much everywhere, because you've got a lot of households now where either the kids are coming home or the parents are coming, to live, with the kids, and not only that. I noticed last year when they implemented the new ADU law that a lot of people were applying for the permits, and which is happening now. And now you've got a lot of the companies. That's all they do. I went online, and now I keep getting all these emails from an ADU company. I made an inquiry on the property that I don't even own, but they're on it. That is big up and coming business as we speak right now. The only thing that they've got to get past is the cost of construction right now, which is because I'm getting ready to build a house myself, and my son's like, "Okay, Mom, you're looking at $300 to $600 a square foot. Where do you want to be?" That's a lot of money, but
yep.
The cost of every product has gone sky high.
Materials, right? Yes,
materials. But ADUs, I think it's awesome for a lot of families because you do have particularly parents coming to live with their kids or an elderly person that wants an ADU for somebody to stay on their property to take care of them or bringing in their kids or bringing in their parents. There's so many positive things that can come from I think them being able to have ADUs on their property. I know I think even in areas I know right now they also passed the new bill about being able to put 4, which is probably a little bit too much for a neighborhood. But I think that if you can have at least one ADU in a single family residential area, I think that's a big plus. I don't think that's an overexplosion of people.
Well, the nice
So,
thing about Yvette and myself and you, Marty, is we've been around for many decades. We've seen the region grow, and everybody, when you travel the world, people get very excited. Southern California is, if not the number one place, it's always in the top three. And most people I talk to, it's the number one place in the world they want to be. So,
well, you know what? We are one of 7 Mediterranean climates. People still want to live in California. People talk about, all these people leaving, but there's still a lot of people here. Like I said,
and there's a lot of people arriving. And
yep.
And it's expensive. And we talked recently to Mark Thorpe out there at Ontario International Airport, the CEO, and one of the observations he made, and we're very lucky in San Gabriel Valley and the Inland Empire and certain regions of San Diego County, there's still a lot of really nice places that first-time home buyers can buy, especially in your area of expertise, where they have a great job that they can rely upon, out working with UPS, out working with Amazon, out working with any of these wonderful companies, City of Hope, buy a great home, work and pay that house off as you mentioned your parents did, and
yes.
and really have a wonderful, wonderful investment. The three of us are obviously sold on Southern California.
And I watched your interview with Aquanetta. That was actually, by the way, pretty good too. And all the industry that's moving over to their direction, and so people and homes are more affordable out there. So that's kind of exciting, I think, for a lot of first-time buyers. Right. Jobs and homes will be there. Affordable housing will be there, and jobs will be there for them.
Right. And when I was a kid, there was a place just like that, and it was called the San Gabriel Valley. Okay. All right. And so as areas have gotten more expensive, people have moved out. Some people moved out of state, but they don't need to. There's some beautiful places in Southern California that are really affordable, some fantastic jobs, but it's just growth. It's just growth. And in fact, we were talking about that earlier, how you've been able to keep your team motivated and current. And with that,
yes.
let's I want to toggle back to that for a minute, because as Yvette mentioned on the outset, you have been able to take the team and take that to levels that have been recognized internationally, worldwide, that you've done things that no one else has done. I don't want to make light of that. So you are, in my opinion, the word that came in my mind was pioneer of that team concept. And you mentioned the same thing, that
yes.
you didn't have anywhere to look for. There's no place to hire to come and tell you how to do it. You had to learn it the old-fashioned way, which is just classic. You don't back down to a challenge. So let's brag about, and let's recognize that team and how it's evolved over time, and some of your basic tenets that you're involved in on building that team.
Well, and I started my team in 1990. I hired my first buyer's agent. So I think I was a pioneer of buyer's agents, 1990. And then, just remember, we did everything manually. So it was pretty crazy. You had files, you had to show up. There was no computers. And I remember, we did, quite a few transactions as we started, building our team. I was working in another office, and I had my little space, and it was just, working with those people, because I thought, I'm too busy. I can't work with sellers. I can't work with buyers. I'm losing clients. So I started building the team, and then, you build the team, and then you also have to keep them, motivated. And they're coming to work for me because I also have the clients. So I have the clients, and I've got to be working my clients. I've got to make sure I've got time for them to help them put their transactions together. And then pretty soon, now we started building the administrative side of the team, because now we needed, a transaction coordinator, a listing coordinator, marketing coordinator. So the team started, to evolve in the 1990s. And then oh my gosh, and probably the worst time that I can tell you, I don't want to say I didn't like real estate, but was, the foreclosure short sale market of 2007. That took so much manpower and so much time, and working on those files. That was, and then you had to keep your agents motivated. So here you could be working on a file for months, and then they would sell the loan, and it was a dead deal. All that months and months of work was, gone. And here you had to keep your agents still excited about making the next deal, even though they just lost when they worked on, for months and months. So I think that's where we really got, good at, motivating, staying together, and making the best of, what we had, because I said, you know what, there's no other deals. These are the deals. So somehow we've got to make this work for us. And then I learned a little bit of, the bank repo market, and I met a lot of the right people to help me in the short sale market. So we were still, even though the market was dying for most people, we were still going, because I said, I'm going to find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. It absolutely not easy. And I tell you, I hated every minute of it, but you would never see me sweat. They would never know that I didn't like it, because you know what? If this is what it is, I'm going to make myself like it. And I did.
Very good.
Yeah.
And, and when you talk about motivation and you're looking at the 90s and everything's a lot more labor intensive, time intensive, right? And then to have a deal possibly not come together as you wanted it to. Share with us your secret to keeping your team motivated decade over decade, and how that has evolved, how that motivation, how those efforts have evolved from the 90s when you started your team to 2021 today, when we have all these wonderful, gadgets, electronics and technology. Can you kind of walk us through that, the story of motivation?
Well, and you know what? And I think with electronics and technology, it is so much easier, but yet people don't see that it's easy. I'm thinking, I like to take them back like to, 1989 and show them what it was really like. But you know what? That doesn't matter. You just have to motivate them in so many other, areas. Like right now, Nadine and I put a transaction together, okay? And a computer could never put that transaction together. It was our work, our tenacity. I mean, we actually got an offer accepted that was contingent on selling another house. And I had to let my client know that I was going to help her put that listing and price it right, so that the two transactions could come together in a time when people aren't accepting contingent offers. And we made it happen. But that took a people power, not computer power.
Right.
So even though we have computers, there's so many things that I do that if I wasn't the agent or my people weren't the agents, it wouldn't be happening. My people are talented because they have great talent, because they have great leadership.
That's right. And you're their leader. So
that's right.
Yes.
And those that just tuned in, we are here with Marty Rodriguez with C21Marty Rodriguez. Office is based in the San Gabriel Valley in Glendora. And she's been recognized many years as the number one team in the world. She was number one agent in the entire in the entire C21 operation system that operates in over 80 countries, has over 140,000 agents, over 14,000 franchises, and has done this. And I know it's always hard to brag about yourself, and you don't do that, Marty, but I can share with you firsthand what people say behind your back, and that is nobody outworks Marty Rodriguez. In fact, let me just launch this question at you. Would you share with everybody your the hours you work? Now you have banker hours, right? You work from 9 to 2 every day, 9 a.m.
Well, I think now that we're home, we work more hours, because you know what? I'm up in the middle of the night. I'm working on my computer. I'm up early in the morning. I think with COVID, I think it's actually making us work more.
So you're available to customers when?
When they're ready to buy a house or sell one. I'm ready.
So anytime, all the time, 24/7, right?
Yeah.
I've seen her phone ringing at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. And Marty is, there's an old saying, if you want to get something done, find a busy person, and they will get that done immediately. And I want to be there for my team, because if my team is successful, we're all successful. I want to be there for them. I want them to make money. If everybody's, happy producing, then you have a great team. But when you're not, then people start bringing you down. You can't have that. We need to keep everybody up here at this, upper level, motivated, happy, and whatever I can do to help them make their transactions come together. I want to be there for them.
And
remember, you can only rise to the level of the leader. You're only as good as the leader.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you are involved with community organizations, because again, that is a leadership role, and someone in your position to be investing into your community and, garnering that love and that heart of giving and support for your community is tremendous. And that's a huge benefit, not only for your organization, but those that work under your organization and those that are looking to your organization as a model and as a beacon of what it is that they should be doing, right? So Can you share with us what those programs look like? What are you supporting? How do you do it? And why do you do it?
A lot of it, I know we were working with the West Covina Canines, raising money for their organization. And then a lot of the local schools here is we really tried to help them participate in, in their different events that they have. So, because remember, when we were kids, there were people that we looked up to. So we want them to, we want to be there for them to help them, whether it's, motivate them or that you're there to, to help them with their booths at their, at the different carnivals that they have, or contribute to, like my sister was just here for, OLA, and we are, contributing to their festival. OLA and in Claremont is having their festival here coming up. So my sister, by the way, is very involved in that too. Father Charles got a hold of her.
That's
and,
great.
And he's awesome. I love him.
Oh, that's I love that festival. Look forward to it every year. It's one of the best kept secrets in Southern California. And then Yvette mentioned at the opening that you have a special place in your heart, and so do we.
For City of Hope.
Night for City of Hope. So talk about that for a minute. Let's do a shout out on your involvement there.
Actually, we before COVID, and we haven't started back up again, but we do the blood drive. We actually bring the truck here for people to donate blood, and they've had such a shortage of blood. So if you can, please do go to City of Hope and give blood, because they haven't been able to do their blood drives like they did in the past, and they really, really need the blood there. And my husband is a patient there. I go there for my checkups, and that is such an amazing place. And they're expanding right now. There's a lot of construction going on at City of Hope right now, and they have some of the very best doctors in the country. Their oncology department is just absolutely amazing. And the people that work there, everybody I know has worked there for so many years. People don't leave City of Hope. They love that place.
It sounds like your office.
I know.
look how long you've had your manager over there. For 45 years you've had her there. I mean, how many people can brag about that?
Hey, and Lori, we're taking Lori out to dinner tonight. Lori's been with me for about 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And
Fantastic.
Peter and Pat have been with me about 22, 23 years. And, my managers have been here like 17 and 12. So I have a lot of longevity. So, yeah. And, my son, Sean, does all our IT technology and helps him with anything to do with construction. Sean is 48 years old and Shelly is 45. So, we have a great team. We have great people here. And, I could never do what I do by myself. I do what I do because of all these awesome people that work in this organization.
And Shelly looks like 25, so I don't know what your secret is over there. But
she loves what she does. She loves going to work every day. That's the secret.
She's a workaholic. She's a CrossFit addict, and that is pretty much it.
Yeah, and she gets to work with Marty Rodriguez in in a positive environment where everyone is super motivated. I want to go down to your office. I need some of that.
Now, Marty, I know you don't think I was listening over the decades, but you, what rings in my ear, and I always remember you telling your team that success is the superb execution of the basics.
Basic fundamentals.
You didn't think I was listening, did you?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
And I like it. And what's the other one that Bill Gates? Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose, and it is an unreliable guide to the future. Bill Gates.
I like that. That. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So when it comes to success and motivation and solutions, especially within the real estate sector, and there's no name bigger than yours, Marty. What you've done for Southern California, as far as I'm concerned, everybody that's met you, that's crossed paths with you. We had Dr. Lau on last week from one of the amazing surgeons who teaches surgeons all around the world, and a leader in his field in robotics. He was bragging about you, and what was so neat about that is he bought one of your listings. So
Yes.
you had the seller on that, and so he said, to send his very best. He just could not speak more highly of you and your team and your professionalism and your commitment to your industry and your craft. Yvette and I were talking earlier, and you could be involved in any product, and it would be wonderful because you are a true people person. You care about people that get the pleasure of meeting you. It takes them about 30 seconds to realize that they are in the company of a people person. That you're in it to see them winning. You have their needs first, and you put yourself secondary. And it's always a shame to me when I see people operating in any business without that mindset. That's your mindset. You show up. Now, I don't want to lose this one. You mentioned to Yvette and I earlier, and I wanted you to share it with the audience. When you come in, what attitude do you bring into the office? Do you bring any of your personal problems or anything like that? How does that work?
No, you never bring your personal problems to work. You keep those to yourself. Okay, because you know what? You're trying to motivate people. That's the last thing they want to hear. I remember I had an aunt, and she was always, "Hi, how are you?" "Oh, I'm I don't feel good." I'm thinking, I don't want to ask her how she is anymore because I already know the answer. Very, very, very depressing. That's the last thing people want to hear. Even if I'm not feeling good, I feel good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like you just can't be depressing. I want to be around positive people that have energy, people that make me laugh, people that make me smile. When I watch a movie, guess what? I want to watch comedy. I want to laugh. I don't want to watch blood and guts. I just want to be up and positive. I love people like Melissa McCarthy. All those crazy movies.
Yep.
And by the way, I was married 50 years this year to Ed.
Wow.
Congratulations! Wow.
He's been up with me for 50 years. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I tell you what, you that's another incredible, important conversation. And the way you two play off each other is amazing. So we're gonna put a pin in it right there, and we will talk about how do you succeed with a 50-year marriage. We'll have to have you as a repeat offender. We'll have you come back. Marty, thank you so much for coming on with us. And Yvette is going to do her thing and let people know how to pull this interview up and hear you. Thanks again, Marty, for coming on. This has been so enjoyable.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marty. Thank you for joining us
So
today.
nice to meet you.
All right. Well, for everyone listening and watching today, look for us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Check us out on scbrtalk.com, and don't forget to download the free live streaming app on Google Play or the Apple App Store. Check out our YouTube channel and download our interview with Dr. Clayton Lau. He is the chief of City of Hope's Division of Urology and Urologic Oncology. He is an international expert in robotic surgery who has trained countless U.S. surgeons how to expertly perform minimally invasive robotic surgery. As director of City of Hope's prostate cancer program, Dr. Lau is an expert on leading-edge treatments for prostate cancer. Next week, we will feature Michael K. Kraus. He is the Regional Vice President of Convention Centers West for ASM Global. He is responsible for oversight of 12 convention centers and convention visitors bureaus, 1 arena, and 1 California Welcome Center located in the Western United States. ASM Global is the world's leading venue management and service company. The company's elite venue network spans 5 continents with a portfolio of more than 300 of the world's most prestigious arenas, stadiums, convention and exhibition centers, and performing art venues. From Aberdeen to Anchorage and Sydney to Stockholm, its venues connect people through the unique power of live experiences. Everyone listening today, don't miss it. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Join Daryl McCanns and Yvette Walker each Tuesday at 4 p.m. on ABC News Radio, KMET, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show highlights successful businesses and individuals behind them. Daryl and Yvette interview the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on KMET AM, FM, and Internet KMET TV.